Alrighty. Okay. All right. So I imported this and realized there might be a few too many nodes. So I have to try to combine a bunch of these before I do the import. It'll just make things a lot easier. I've noticed with other stuff that I've done before. So just simply have to come into here and take things like that, and then I think you do that, and it turns it into one element. Yep. And then we can take this, and this, and this, and that, and combine them. And anything that I'm going to add an animation to, you don't really want to do this because you want them as separate paths, so you can add an animation to them, but if you're just going to, which I really don't know how I'm going to animate this, which I should probably think about. All right, let's see here. Combine those. Guess combine this whole element. Damn it, that's not what I want to do. Okay, there is a way, I believe, to do this. No. No. That didn't do it. All right, well. Can I ungroup this? So I stop clicking on the group. Ungroup. All right. Hello. How are you doing today on a Tuesday? It doesn't look like DaVinci. This is Affinity Designer. This is just for all of my vectors that I then take into DaVinci. And so I took this whole design into DaVinci and it spit out all of these nodes, right? So I'm just trying to put more of the lines together as single elements so that there aren't so many nodes, so that it runs a bit quicker. Because when you have that many nodes, then, you know, it doesn't really run all that great. So I'm just trying to add all of these elements, or all the ones that I can, because obviously there's a bunch of pieces. So I think that is everything that I can do. There is a way to somehow, and I wish I was more versed in doing vector stuff, but I'm not, so. All right, so let me save this real quick. Export, I think. All right, so this would be version 3. Okay, so now, damn it, hold on a sec. Go import. All right, so then it takes you to this once you import. And now if we look at it, we have less, so that's good, right? And if we view it now, same design, just with less. And now it'll be a little lighter. It's not going to be significantly lighter, but it's a little lighter. And the main reason why I have so many of these is because we have so many of these little like floating pieces everywhere. Hello, hello. How are you doing this morning? It's 9 a.m. here. So the idea here is once I have all of my elements, we'll have to find a font that looks half decent. But then this would go in the middle. Like that. Maybe an italic version of it. Something of that nature. And then like you could populate like all these little elements if you really wanted to. I don't even know when my channel was made, but let's just do like 2018, sure. Something of that nature. I come over here, really get it to go like that, right? Something like that. And then what you have to then do is all of these backgrounds, you have to leave it in the same aspect ratio, but you want it to get bigger with someone's project. So like right now, this is 817 by whatever. If you were to use this in like a 4K project, an 8K project, this is going to be like super small. So you have to have it scale. $1 million subs. I don't know. I think DaVinci's a little too niche for that size of a community, specifically off of that, because it's mainly what my channel is. But yeah, so then you would just add a couple of other things in here. I don't know what else you would do. And I guess across the top, if you really wanted to, you could it would be in this whole list. All right. We could take that one out, right? And then we got to find the circle, take that out. So now that we have all of that out, we'll view it. I think you can just go to this. I don't know. And then, oh geez, I haven't made one of these in a long time. I think you can do it with a line, right? Nah, maybe. I completely forget how to, isn't it line? Path. Oh geez, why am I making another? Is this modify? Something of that nature. Maybe I need to widen it a little bit. Something of that nature. What node is that path? The path that I just made for the text? It's just in the text tool. Is that what you mean? Or are you talking about all the lines for the design? You were talking about the for the design, they're just masks. I guess you could put something in here, but I don't know what you would put in there. Yeah, they're just paths. Yep, so you can use these two right here to make all of them. Polyline or B-spline, either one. But how I did it is I just brought in the vector shape, and using the SVG import, it takes the vector and then it creates it into the paths. All right, so maybe put some text here and some text here, just for now. I'm gonna have to like look up some like vintage fonts, unless you guys have some like recommendations to install. All right. So we have that there. I think one right here. I don't know about the left and right of that too. I think that might be a little much. All right. This actually looks a bit off. It's organic. It doesn't have to be perfect. I'll just say that to myself. All right. So the next thing that you can do to make this kind of look cool is in these, depending on how they're made. So these are all like, right, so there's the whole one. A lot of these don't need to be separate like this. All right, so what we're going to do is we're actually going to ungroup this and then kind of figure out everything here. So we'll look at that. That's just the two dots. This doesn't need to be here. These, one's cutting the other one, right? Yeah, that's going to be solid. That's cutting it. Okay. What is this? That's going to be the same sort of deal. These two don't need to be like that. These can be over here. All right. Yep. Okay. This is going to be cutting out. These are not. These are all just merges, yeah. Okay, take all this. This is kind of tedious. Trying to just drop some of these nodes that we actually don't need to have here. The other thing that I could do is, now that you can add in images, I could just do it that way too. What is this one? Why is this one right here? Oh, these are all separate. Wow, I just went through that whole thing. All right, whatever. All right. That can go there. We'll remove that for now. Don't need that. So then that can all go together. Get rid of that and that. All right, what is this? This is blank. Yep. All right. One thing that I kind of wish you could do, but they haven't implemented it yet, is that we could use the vector shapes, because these are all coming from vectors, but then they're not like maintaining, you know, being a vector. Because once they go into the black, then, you know, they turn into like pixel information, which kind of sucks. All right. So now that I removed all of 6 nodes and made a whole mess, which I don't really feel like that was worth it. All right, so now we only have a few of these backgrounds, but all of these are actually just going to be white. And they're all going to be 8-bit. Okay. So now that we did all of that, take all of that, regroup it, bring this down. And then this can be the color of it. Oh gosh. Oh. We need. All right, so how would this be done? We're going to take the size information from one of the texts. All right, so you have these sizes, which is auto-generated, meaning that it pulls it from the timeline, and we're gonna push that into all of these. And I think I can do this. Oh wait, it's like a weird shape. No. I forget how to do this. Document setup. No, that's not what I want. I don't know how to actually do this. Oh, it's so lame. And then you can do that and that. Oh, that's not what I want. Those aren't, either one of those buttons aren't. Hey, here we go. That and that center. So now that's in a square. Now I gotta export it again. Just did all that for nothing. Huh. All right, so what is this? 3? Now this is version 4. All right, so This will make things a lot easier, even though I gotta just redo what I just did there, but... But now everything, all of the design is to a square, which makes things significantly easier. All right, so we go through this whole process again. Let me see here. There isn't a single thing in here that I need to be concerned with. Now let's take it out of here first. Ungroup. And this we can add to that. What about that? This we cannot. Can't with that. So get rid of that node. Drop that, take that out. Here, we can't do it with that. This one we can. Get rid of those. That we cannot. This we can. Wait a second, why are there so many here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and there's one underneath here, 7. Okay. So all of this we can take too. Connect that. All right, and then connect this down to there. All right, that went a little easier. Oh, some of these are already 8-bit. Interesting. They weren't a second ago. Okay. Actually, I don't think we even need... We don't need that anymore. It's an additional node we don't need. All right. Color depth, it's more memory storage because it's going to be a bigger color number. So there's more granularity when it comes to colors, the higher bitrate you go, but it takes up more video card memory. So I just try to min-max everything as best as possible. People have all sorts of different computers. If you're doing like in-depth like VFX work and stuff like that, then it can, kind of be a little bit, but all right. So now that we have that, now what we're going to do is we're always going to take whatever this node is, and we're always going to take its height. So in here we go like that, and we go height. So we'll always grab that thing's height, but we can also divide this by 4. And that actually might be bad. Maybe by 2? 540. Will it be too small? Maybe. No, that wouldn't be too small. All right, so then Now that we have that, I can then go into here and have this take this color one. Take color one's size. All right, so I'm so confused. How did it do that for all of these? Are these things like... They're not connected to anything. I'm so confused. Something new get added? Like, why are these... Am I not? I'm kind of confused now. These aren't connected to anything. Nothing is publishing. So how is this getting its information? Hold on a second. This doesn't say anything. Okay. Weird. Anyways, we're just going to act like that is normal and always happens. Actually, to even make that simpler, I'm not even going to use a color, and these are all just going to copy each other's color. Oh, wait. They're going to grab the... so this is actually going to... What is this node? Oh wait, maybe I should just do color one. Wait, this is making... I'm so very confused on what is going on here. Alright, whatever. If they're all just going to somehow mysteriously change without being linked or anything, that's so bizarre. Alrighty. If anyone knows how that's happening, I'd be... Oh, this is nothing when it comes to nodes. But it can be a little confusing. When you press X on a clip, I'm not sure what that means. So there are things you can do. So you can take like two nodes, right? And you can say, okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to publish this, right? So this blue is being published, right? And anything can pick up whatever that published value is. So I can come over here to this other node and I can say, okay, the red is going to connect to that blue, right? So now anytime I move this this blue, that red's going to move equal, right? Whatever the value is. But I've never seen where nothing is connected and it's just pulling from that. This is confusing. And like when I look at the node, it's not like there's any special value in here that would be doing that. That is weird. I know that I imported them, but there's nothing like showing that information. So that's a little weird. Actually, hold on a second. If I come over here and then go back in, would that still happen? Huh, it still is. That's weird. Hold down Alt. I think that's what you're doing, like, and then you use INO to reset your in and outs. I believe it's Alt. All right. So we're going color 1, right? So if I change this one color, it's only going to change that one line. All right, so now we're going to take color 1. Actually, you know what I can do with all of these? I'll show you guys something else. I'll come up here. I have to take it out of the group to do this. Ungroup. And then I'll just instance these nodes. I know you were just talking about that, but none of these nodes are like instance nodes. Yeah, there's no reason why I couldn't do that. So copy this. And we'll make an instance. See, when they're instance, then they have the little green line. But those didn't have that. I don't know. That's very weird. All right. Okay, so now I have my element. After all that work, now I have my element. What is this? We don't need that. We're connecting this in. But we need to connect this the other way. There we are. And you might want to make this bigger. You could animate the lines. I'm not entirely sure what I want to do yet. I'm just kind of winging it at this point. At one point, this all lined up. And at one point, that line across the top wasn't there anymore. So I want to remove that quick. Get rid of that dot and get rid of that. There we are. I think I need to get a new mouse. My middle like scroll wheel is not working anymore correctly. All right, that looks great. Now we need to line everything up to this. Yeah, it's because we were working with a completely different resolution a couple minutes ago until I realized that I needed to be able to scale. The only thing I'm thinking of now is currently everything will scale for a 16:9, right? But, so like if I was to take this and make it bigger, so if I took one of these and I connected this in and I took like this, like if I did this, Come on. Let's say this was like not all jacked up like this. Here, I'll just do it for the text. This is going to be my next issue. So if I do this right now and I have this look great, right? This is for 1920 1080, but then once we take this and we do like, ooh, I want to times that. And we do 4K or whatever, larger, it's going to look fine. Wait, what is this thing scaling off of? Oh, this is scaling up. Damn it. Trying to show this and it's like, anyways, it's going to scale. But then once I take this and we would, let's say, flip these, right? So like, let's say I want to go tall. It's going to look weird, right? This is the only thing I hate about working with this stuff sometimes. So I think I have to go off of width. Am I going off of width? I'm going off of height. All right. Would that then fix it? Kinda. I don't know why it's like dropping down. But that's just a little adjustment that you can do. But at least everything is still kinda... I'm not like acting like none of this stuff exists, right? Just this. Yeah, so now... No, wait. Ugh. See, when you make all these titles that specifically just work in the middle of the screen, trying to figure out how to get them to properly proportion for tall and small. Seems like sometimes a pain. Maybe I just make that as a value that's visible. Maybe I'd make that a variable that's visible. Because now it's like properly scaling, right? I think that's what I do. You can do, you can use DaVinci Resolve, or you can use the Fusion version, or the DaVinci Resolve version in the free version. Geez, I didn't explain that right. But if you have, and they just added this with the release of 17, if you have DaVinci Resolve Studio, you can use Fusion Studio, which actually has a ton more features than the Fusion that's in DaVinci Resolve. So, DaVinci Resolve Fusion used to have a free version and a studio version, but now the version that's in DaVinci Resolve is like the free version. I'm confusing myself explaining that. Hopefully someone followed. The font. I've been using the middle mouse button for so long. I like have to use it. Well, it's not really the button that's the issue. It's the scroll wheel that is really messed up for me. And I haven't had too many issues with the, I mean, this is like the third mouse I bought in probably 15 years. And I use these, and I buy the same one every time. When I try to import text in Fusion, it says, what kind of text are you trying to import? Just the text plus node? This node? That you can use that in the free version. I can guarantee you that. You can, like, if you right click and you go add tools. I don't even know where it's at in here because I don't use this. It is great. Yeah, tell them how to do it. All right, okay, I'm gonna just tell you how I do it. You hold down Shift and hit space, and then type in text, and you get the text plus node, right? Hit enter, and then it'll give you the text node. No, an animation. Then I'm guessing whatever that animation is, wherever you got that from, because I'm not exactly sure what you mean by that. They're using a node that is only available in the studio version. That's what I'm guessing. Because the node itself works perfectly fine. I'm guessing that there's like a combination of nodes in whatever you're working with, and one of those nodes is studio only. Yep. Okay, so I think the conclusion is that we are going to make a size slider in here, and that's going to control everything, right? So to do that, we'll just right click, add control, and we'll call this size. I don't think there's anything in here that's called size. We will put it for now on the common tab, even though this is going to get changed when you make it into a tool for the edit page. We'll just put it there for now, and we will add that. And it's down here. I thought this would just be called settings, not whatever. And we'll put in here 1920, right? Because that's the size that we're going to work with for now. Or no, we're going to work with 1080 as the size. So then we'll go color and we'll put size, right? So here we will do just size, and here size. Okay, so something else is also taking up the size name. So we actually need to change that. So I'm actually going to kind of do this a little differently. I'm just going to open this up and change this to I'm just going to do that. And then we got to take this out of here. Ungroup. Go like that. Add that in. All right. And then what we'll do is simply just come in here. Wait, why did that now take the other? I think there's two sizes in here. There has to be. All right, whatever. What is going on with these nodes? Oh, wait, it said 0. Huh. Wait, now this one. I'm so confused. Oh, I need to do something else too. I need to turn this into an int, right? All right. So now we should be able to take this, go like that. Perfect. Look at that. Now it works. Kinda. And why are these all lit up now? Why are they all hot? There's some weird stuff going on. There is definitely some weird stuff going on. Oh. Is it because it's instanced? Is that what that means? I think so. Alright. I'm noticing all sorts of new things with the DaVinci Resolve version. Alright. So now, theoretically, should be able to change this. And it's not changing. What? Oh. Switch that. Now we got 1920, 1920. Change this to 1080. All right. We're looking good now. Finally. Take all that, group that up. Yep. That is the goal. No idea when this would actually come out. But I decided while I'm sitting here talking to myself, I can answer other people's questions if anyone has questions. Anyone that's interested in watching can watch. All right, so now these should just be able to go on the normal. What if these also took that size, right? Am I breaking anything doing that? I don't think so. We're gonna rock with it. So everything grows and gets smaller together. Yeah, it's not super complicated. There's just a couple of like fundamentals you have to understand: how nodes connect, the differences between all the nodes. Not all the nodes. You don't have to know all the nodes, but a handful of nodes, like the majority of, or the most used nodes, I guess I should say, like masks and the background node and like a title node or a text node. Once you understand a handful of those, then everything else is like, oh, that's a pretty interesting way to use, you know, those nodes together to make that design. All right, so now no matter what I do, everything should, I think, scale together and not have any issues. Text size might be an issue, but it's not looking like it. All right. So there's something small and something big. Everything is sort of working and keeping whatever its size is. All right, now I can go in and fix all of the other stuff. There's multiple ways to get an element to move smoothly. The go-to, if you want to do everything kind of manually and you have like most control, would be to use the Spline tool. So if I grab some text, I think this is what you're looking for at least. And are you on the Fusion page? I hope I'm zooming smoothly, works fine, but shift. Oh, you're talking about just moving around like this? I'm not sure I'm following. All right, I think because you were talking about the Fusion page, so like moving around this element, right? With keyframes, is that what you're looking to do? I'll just add some keyframes here. I'm hoping that that's what you want to do. So it moves, you know, from one to the other, but you want it to go smooth, right? Like easing is what you want, right? Nope, I'm talking about moving objects like this. Is this what you mean? I'm moving an object, like I'm moving text. Is that what you mean? Okay. So we're moving elements, right? I'm guessing you know how to do keyframes. You can see the little keyframes here, right? They have this keyframe tool, but this isn't for, it's to display keyframes on your whole project. So when you are compositing elements, it's easy to see what is currently playing in a frame and where the keyframes are showing up within that, right? So if I was to go down here, what is this, node 7 or 7? If I come down in here, you can see that there's like the little line there showing that there's keyframes going on, right? But obviously this is just to position where that set of keyframes are, right? This is just to show things that are on and off. Because when you start to composite, you will have hundreds of nodes. You might not be doing compositing, you might be just doing motion graphics and stuff like that. So nodes are a little less because you don't have like render passes and things. So what you're gonna do is you're actually gonna go over to the Spline Editor. And like you can see here, because of all of the nodes that I have so far, this gets kind of like convolute, like there's a lot of stuff here. So what I always recommend people do is click on these little dots and go show only selected tool. So when I click on that, it's only going to show this tool. And if I click on it and then click this button to see all the nodes, here are my nodes. Because I'm doing an XY path, it adds on a modifier for the duration of it, right? So it moving from one place to the other, and it just uses a 0 to 1, even though, because it's this is kind of hard to explain. So you have two different numbers that are moving, and because those two different numbers are moving, to display it here, it uses this displacement node. Yeah, you can break it up into XY paths, but this is probably what you want to do. And all you have to do here is when you highlight them, you have the little handle that you can move, right? So if I move it now, as I come in, it like eases, it slows down a little bit because it's not going in a linear fashion. And I can pull this and I can make this so once it gets to, you know, frame 20, it starts to slow down, right? Because it's a little gradual. So now it slows down. So you have that as an option, right? Or what you can do is you can add normal easing to it. So if I highlight and I hit F, it's going to do, in the 3D world, when you start to get into that, it's referred to as a flatten. So you hit F, and then once it's like this, you can hit T, which brings up your easing controls. And so this is ease into the node, so coming into the node, and then this is easing out of the node. Obviously, there's nothing after that node, so I don't have to worry about that. So having it highlighted, I can change this to increase that easing amount, right? It makes things a little easier. So now it gives me that same sort of thing where it smooths, right? So you have that as an option as well. And if you really want to get into it, there is a new animation modifier. And if you want that, I'm actually just going to, because it's pretty complicated, I don't really remember because it's been so long since I did the video on it, but I'll just give you the link to that video where I kind of go over that. That is a whole new set of tools, and that gives you the ability to add different well-known easing methods but it's a completely different modifier and it adds a whole bunch of extra steps. But this is kind of like the easiest to understand. All right. You're welcome. Oh, geez. It's not gonna work. I'll get there eventually. What am I doing wrong here? All right. Once I do that, how much do I know percentage-wise? It's kind of hard to say. Because I'm not really audio at all, so I don't really know how to massage audio very well. Like on the Fairlight page, I know how to get by, but I don't really know it all that well. I'm not really a fan of the cut page. I know everything on the media page. I know just about everything on the edit page. Fusion page, I could probably use some work, even though that's the majority of my content, just because there's so much potential in Fusion. Color, I know I'm fairly competent there. Because I actually did that for a bunch of time, but I don't know. Probably, I would say, I'd feel confident in saying 80%. How long have I been using this program? I've been using, well, I used DaVinci Resolve way before all these tabs were down here. Yeah. I used it way before you could ever do any type of editing. Before they had any of the edit tools in here. Fusion was its own program. It wasn't in here. Fairlight didn't even exist in this world. I don't even think Blackmagic owned Fairlight when I started using it. But I came from Adobe a long time ago. I told this in my last stream, but pretty much Adobe had a product called SpeedGrade that I used for a little while, and then they kind of killed off that product, and I had to find an alternative. And then I found DaVinci Resolve, because that's kind of all they did at that point is color. And then as they started adding in different tools, I started playing with it. Although the first iteration of that edit page was kind of, it was barren in the things you could do. There wasn't much that you could actually do. You could get a very, very, very simple edit done, maybe. But outside of that, there was still a bit to desire. All right, so if I come down here. Looks good. Looks the same. All right. Yeah, a lot of people, it's kind of funny on Twitter, I still see people saying, I'm using this program, but it's putting a watermark on my videos. Is there anything else that I could use? And then people recommend DaVinci Resolve. Man, if DaVinci Resolve existed when I was 16... When I was 16, at the time, I remember I had to go to my cousin's house, and he had a Sony computer, and the Sony computer came pre-installed with Sony Vegas, and so that's what all of my friends would edit their videos on. Man, I wish I could get one of the new graphics cards, but quadros are only needed if you are dealing with projects that have like large amount of like textures. If you're working with constant like 8K textures and stuff like that, where everything needs to be dumped into memory, I would not get an old quadro. That you know, if you had one price point, you could get a quadro, or you could get like a newer, a newer like consumer card. I'd probably get the newer consumer card because they're going to be significantly faster than a quadro card at the same price. The only time I recommend people getting quadro cards is if you're either one, have the budget to get a new quadro card, or two, you're working with large textures. Yeah. Quadro cards do offer a few benefits in like the color world, but most people don't even have the proper equipment to get, or the proper display for, you know, the amount of money that you would spend on a quadro card. Yep, I used After Effects. And the cool thing with After Effects is if you are a pretty decent After Effects user, a lot of the stuff in Fusion is the same. It's just implemented different. And once you understand the difference in implementation, one versus the other, you can do just about everything. There are a couple of like little things that like you can do in After Effects that is kind of difficult to do when it comes to like motion graphics world. Like a lot of the stuff that you can do with JavaScript over there is like super cool, and it's actually kind of complicated to do in how, you know, text and lines and everything is implemented within Fusion. But if you're not really doing that kind of stuff, it's pretty comparable in the things that you can do. And I like to always tell people, whatever you see someone do in one program, the other program can do it too. There just might be, you know, a couple of different things, or a couple of things you have to do a little differently. All right, so now I got to figure out how I want to hello. System RAM, whatever your budget will allow. The more, the better. If you're using, well, it really depends on what platform you're using too. If you're using like Windows or Linux, I would probably say, and you're using Fusion, I'd probably say get a minimum of 32 gigs. If you can get more, great. You know, get whatever you can. But if you're using Mac, you can get away because the Mac system is a little more, I don't know the proper term to use here, but it's rounder around the edges. It's not such a, it's not as much of a hog. It's a little bit more efficient, so you can get away with a little less on Mac. Yeah. In their documentation, they even say that. But then, you know, you have to be able to live in that ecosystem if you do have a Mac. I just have way too much. I use my system for so many other things that's not realistic to be confined to that OS. And I'm not going to be sitting around dual booting everything. Hello. Oh, I didn't even know that their laptops, the maximum you can get is 16. I feel bad for anyone that's attempting to do like serious 3D stuff then. Because I could load a project with just 16 gigs of textures. Alright, so how do I want to animate this? Let's, I guess, see how... what I have the ability to do. For the most part, like color and edit page, I would agree with you with the whole system being balanced. Fusion page still has a couple of nodes that are CPU specific. Or like everything is pretty much done on the CPU and not the GPU. All right. All right, we're switching this up because I can't work like this anymore. Whoops, middle. All right. That's a cute little box. Whatever that X situation's all about. All right. So these two? No, I set it all up. I need to be creative again. So we'll add that in there. We'll bring that down, right? So now in here, we're going to go invert. Oh, no, we're not doing invert. We will do multiply again. Yep. And we're gonna zoom this in and actually go center, drop it down to there. Oh, this isn't even centered. Bring it like that. All right. And then we'll have this path slide inside and be down. All right, we are going to make this a little easier for myself. All right, so now we have those. These will get animated by that. I guess we'll... Oh man! All right. This is gonna be a lot of little steps. So this is going to go. What is our end number here? Can we get wait with 6.5 just to make it easy? Okay, we'll go 6.5. So we'll come in here, animation curve, duration, I believe. All right. And then we'll start this at 1, I believe. And this is going to be 6.5. All right. So there we got that. And I don't really know when this is all going to go up yet. Let me look at the rest of this. We'll have that happen at 1. I think this is a I might be just doing like half of it and then the other half or something. Oh, 1. Okay, so this is also gonna be lime. Maybe I didn't want those to be all separate like that. Come in from the one side, then go across. If I go in from the one side, then go across, and then do the opposite down here since it's the similar shape, then I gotta take off this top part. And then what do I do about this bottom here? Do I make that a separate element too? So I have the one go do and the other one going, and then have these like go the opposite way. I think that's what I'm gonna do. Okay, so all right, this is the whole element here. So what we do here is what? I want to add a new element. Okay, so oh geez, I forget how to do this. We'll duplicate it just in case we mess this up. There is a way to like cut them or something, right? What if I go like this, right? And then I go these two, and we do that. Okay, so that worked. So then I take this and I go like that, and like that, and then like that, and like that. And we need to turn this off so we can see. Okay. All right. So there is that element, and then we'll take all of this top off. And we take those two off. All right, so that's the top. All right. That will work. And I guess let's do the bottom quick. So let's click it. It's right there. And we'll do the same thing here. And actually, let me duplicate this quick. Turn that one off. Take these two, go like that, which it didn't do anything or work. Does it need to be underneath? I don't know. Oh, what am I doing wrong? Why isn't it making a cut? Didn't I just do this shit? This is the right thing, right? Can I, maybe I can just delete these instead of having to make a cut. Oh, I'm so horrible at using this. Oh, I do need to make a cut. It's the only way I know how to do it, though. Who knows how to do vector stuff? I need help. I forget how to do this. Do I just need to make an element? Like, what am I doing wrong here? Whatever, it worked. All right. So that's that element. So there's our two pieces. Let me save this quick. What is this called? I forget now. I think the last one, this is 3, and this is going to be part 5. Save. And then Fusion, SVG 5, import. Sure. Okay. All right. So then we have it back there. I don't know why it's behind this, but it is. And we just need those 2 lines. And they oh, I only named the one. Dang it. It's okay. So there's part 1. We'll copy that and bring that into here. And now I got to find the other one. Oh, is it this? It's this thing. All right. All right, so now that I have that, I don't think I did this correctly, because I also need those little pieces as well. Or do I just not add that to the design? I think that they need to be in the design. I feel like there's probably an easier way to do this, but this is how I've always done it. It's the only way I know how to. And it's worked, so whatever. So that should be part 4, actually, just to make things easy. And then for the top, it's this thing. All right. Oh, I'm just bouncing back and forth so I can do this vector shape. All right. All right. Export SVG. This one's going to be 6. All right, so then now we have the top. Put the top in here. What is this? This isn't what I want. We have the top. Oh, part 4 right there. Okay. Now there should be a part 3. Oop, wrong one. Part 3 somewhere in here. Oh wait, nope, not in there. I'm confusing myself now. Oh no, did I not have it visible? I didn't have it visible. Gotta love it. One of these days I'll get it done. All right. Part 3? Is that what I'm looking for? Yeah. All right. Goodbye. Now, animating. So then this whole thing should be able to just get rid of that. That's the bottom. I don't need that right now. So we take this, we can add this. I just want to make sure all these pieces are here. All right. So it's all back together. And those two stay together. So it's these elements here. All right. What's the easiest way to do this? So that's going to be the last, so that'll be at the bottom. So it's first this, no wait, it was that. So it's first that, then that goes down there, and then this, right? Yeah, like this, okay. All right, so as the first element, there is a way to like copy this, right? And paste this over there. Oh wait, why are there so many brush strokes in that? Yeah, there should be one. Okay. And then in this one, so multi-stroke one. No. How the heck? Oh, I know there's a way, but I don't remember how to do it. Where you can take one and connect it within this particular. Okay, pylon stroke. All right, so we added that here. No. Paste. What? I could have sworn that you can make a complete copy. Ugh. All right, you know what? Screw it. Taking too much time. So what we'll do, the other way that I know will work. good enough. All right. Oh geez, now I'm getting confused here. Which one? 2? All right. Why are there 2 polylines? So is this the second one or the first one? So what the heck is this other one? Confusing myself. All right. All right. And what is this other element? Just underneath it? It actually needs to go above. Whoa. And then this comes next. All right. Maybe pull that out just a little bit more. And what was the other stuff here? What is this? Oh wait, I can't do it like that. Let's reset that. I need to come down, add a keyframe, come up. Add a keyframe, then come over here and replace that, yeah. Don't know if I like that. Things are getting sloppy real quick in here. All right, we're coming out of this for now. We don't need to be in the group. These two are identical, so what I'll do is take this, we're actually going to go like that, put one in, oops, put one in background, put one in foreground, drag this down in there, and then we can take this one and we can go like that and drop it down to wherever it used to be. like that. I think. All right. So now they should go opposite ways. Oh. I want to put this below. That goes into there. And unhook this. There we are. All right. Okay. Oh no. That one on the bottom's different. It's smaller. As you can see, it comes in. So I can't cheat by just doing that. Unless I just... No, because how it lays out and everything. So that means I actually have to go back a lot because I deleted them. Hopefully I can go far enough back. This is pretty far. There we are. But I might be able to take this paint mask. Actually, no, I can't. Just, it'd be too difficult. Okay. Alrighty. Take all this. Actually, one thing that I don't know is if I add all of these to one, is it better performance? That's something I actually don't know. I would think it would be, but I really don't know. Oh boy. It's going pretty good. Although I am noticing something weird going on here, which I'm not super sure of why, but... Oh, I just needed to refresh the frame. That's all you had to do. It's like, why is this a weird resolution? Alright. Doing pretty well. Currently, working on these kind of like vintage hipster little things. It's like neon green right now, but every once in a while things are working a little bit differently today in Resolve, so sometimes I'm like, what's going on right now? But oh gosh, it's still the wrong size. See, it's still doing it. There is something really weird going on. Now it updated. I feel like I'm using like no memory right now. It keeps going 1920. Maybe this is a bad idea. I sadly had a bunch of stuff going on, so I didn't get to watch it. But because I couldn't stay off of Twitter, I was getting little bits and pieces, so seemed like there was a lot of interesting stuff going on for Red Bull. I should probably ask about this, because maybe this is like not the way I should be doing it. For now, I'm just not going to do it that way. What are they connecting to? Like, what is going on? Is that just like a... What are they connected to right now? Am I... What is that? Alright, well I guess I now can make a little clip. Like, there's some weird stuff going on in Resolve right now. Should be connected to this. They're instancing off of this. Alrighty, well, I'll just make another one. Huh. Some weird stuff going on. This is almost like unusable. I'm curious how Lando did. I'm probably just gonna end up going to YouTube and watching the highlight videos. Yeah, look how much, you know, longer it's taken to render now. That's why I don't like doing it this way. I might rethink this. There is something really going wrong here. And for some reason that's being animated up. I gotta turn that off. That's annoying. Make sure you go to the end and then we'll turn this off. Oh no, I did it the wrong way now. Come over here and then do it. There we are. That line is gone. Oh, this is more frustrating than I feel like it's worth. Actually, you know what? What I think I might do is just try to use the, instead of bringing in vector shapes, which should be way faster, you would think, than bringing in an image, but I just might bring in an image. I guess I have to restart Resolve. I'm gonna restart it quick. Yeah, I'm not a huge fan of Monaco personally. But I had a bunch of stuff going on this weekend, so I wasn't able to watch it. Anyone have any, or is anyone working on any projects and have any questions for me? Because it seems like my project isn't going how I wanted it to. Sadly. That's interesting. Mercedes pits are normally like rock solid, so. Hello. All right, it looks like it's all back together now. Yeah, I hate whenever I miss a race. 'Cause it's like, oh no. Like some of the people that I follow on Twitter constantly like tweet out during the race and I'm like, yeah, I'm not even sure how I feel about this anymore. I'm not sure what you mean by have a hard time. Should be able to just drag them into your timeline, the transitions. Does your computer run really slow? Is that what you mean by a hard time? So it's the same way. If you're working with titles, it's the same way. It just has to go into a different folder. So you have to just take your title files, and depending on which version of DaVinci Resolve you have, it's changed a couple times. Even 17.2, it's changed. I hate this because I always get questions about it. I have a thing on my website about it, but pretty much the new way is how I always tell people to do it, because everyone's on different platforms, and this works for all platforms, Linux, Windows, and Mac. Come into Fusion, Effects Library, hit the drop down for templates, and then you have Edit and you have Fusion. Come into the Edit, and then in the Titles folder is where you put them, right? So you click on the Titles folder, click the three little dots, Show Folder. And that's where you're going to drop them in, restart DaVinci Resolve, and then you should see them. I mean, so it was that, and then it was like the combination. Where else was I was watching. Oh, the other thing is last night I was on YouTube, like watching a couple of the subscriptions that I have, and recommend it. It's like, you know, the highlight videos, and obviously in the thumbnails, they're going to show like the best bits of whatever they're highlighting. So yeah, that didn't help either. And then there was something else that was showing. Oh, I think, okay, yeah, social media. On Facebook, it was also showing me. What did I make here? So obviously this isn't going to be green. It's probably going to be like a brown or something. But the idea is I'm working on, so on my website, I sell a bunch of like title packs and stuff like that that are all like themed towards different things. And this was going to be like a vintage, like hipster sort of thing. So if you were like to see a whiskey shop like promo video, they would have something like this. Obviously this would probably be like brown or white or black. Black and white sort of thing, and they would use these kind of like vintage looks for like different titles, or maybe it's like almost like a logo for like a vintage thing like that, like a cigar shop or something. And so now I'm just in the process of, I took it from the vector, which I have here. So this is all like hacked up now for to go into Fusion. So I made it all on here, and then I brought it over here in its vectored form, and now I'm just kind of animating it and getting it to work within the DaVinci Resolve environment. And so you'd be able to change the colors of everything. So far there are a couple of animations. Obviously everything would probably be animated by the end of it, and then you can just change the fonts and the titles of everything, all the text. So that's the idea there. How do you save them? It's kind of complicated, but the easy answer is you would save them into what's referred to as a macro. And if you look up Fusion macros, there's tons of videos that explain that whole process. When I try templates between two clips, sometimes we'll only add one side, not in both. Are you using the built-in ones, or do you have like custom ones? Hold on a second, let me bring in some footage here. This has gone into a live version of Ask Me Questions, I Give You Answer tutorial session. because I kind of don't like what I've been working on. Okay, so I'll just hack this together, come in, go video transitions. So like there's these ones that are in DaVinci Resolve, and then if you scroll, you can go into like the fusion transitions, and there's a couple that, you know, they have in here. The built-in ones, they should just work. Yeah, should just work. You just drop them in between two clips, and I've never had them not work. I don't even know what this is. Crash zoom? What the heck did that even do? Oh, that looks horrible. Why is there a box in a box? Is there settings for this? There's a motion blur slider. That's it. Let's crank that puppy up. Okay. Not really sure I understand that one, but yeah, you should just drop them on in between two clips, and then it would work. Yeah, it doesn't matter which operating system you have. They should just work. I guess this doesn't really help because these are all just like brown clips, so they don't look like they're the same clip over and over again. Let me get a really bright one. There we are. All right. Yeah, I've never even seen these before. Interesting. Are there settings for these? There's a motion blur slider and a fall angle. Fall angle? What does this do? Oh gosh. Ugh. Alrighty then. So those exist. Guess I should pay attention to what's... Oh, that looks kind of cool. That almost looks like something I had on my thing. I made a whole tutorial on how to make this exact thing. I wonder if they followed it. Yeah, you need handles. I mean, even if you don't have handles, if only one of the clips has handles, it's fine. So if I drag this all the way out, and then this clip has handles, so if I go like that, you can see the white outline there showing that there's more clip, because like it needs media from both sides to show it. But if you don't have handles, you can't even add on one of these transitions. So if I was to, you know, lengthen this, so neither one of these have handles, right? If I click on, then I can't put you can't drop one on there, right? You need handles, so. Anyone else have any other questions? So I think I'm going to be done with this and do like support emails and stuff like that. So obviously don't want to stream email stuff with other people having issues making their stuff public, but man, I was kind of hoping this would like come out a little bit better. I mean, it doesn't look horrible. I just don't like the performance on it right now. I really hate that, like all the new shape stuff, there's no way to make anything else other than that. And you can't use like SVG shape data to use these shapes and its whole like shape thing. Do you know how to add links and buttons to macros? Is that a Lua code thing? I don't know what you mean by links. Link to what? I could show you how to make a button, but I don't know what you mean by a link. What are you linking? Are you linking to like a media, or like, what do you mean by link? He's a link button to his YouTube. I don't know exactly how he did it. There is, so you can do it in Lua for sure. But if you were to, cause I don't know if he's there's a bunch of different tools. So if I was to come into here and make a control, right? And then let's say it's going to be a number control. Obviously, it's going to be a button with just number data, right? But you can come down here and there's like a button control, but then there's this multi-button control, and then you can add buttons, right? So there is that. You can also, if you are working with the Fusion UI toolset, you can add a button that way, but that's like a whole pop-out window sort of thing, right? So I don't think I still have it installed on here. All right, so I do. So like this is like a whole UI system that kind of came over from Fusion. And like the stuff for this is kind of like, you need to know Lua a little bit, but more so than Lua, you need to know the Fusion UI stuff. So I don't know how he has his setup, because the reason why I say is I don't know why, because if it's the UI stuff, that's super easy to like send like a link thing, but inside of the inspector, like that is a little bit different. And I don't think that you would be able to, I could be wrong on this, but I don't think, at least in this UI, using the control stuff, I don't think that you can make a link. You might, I don't know. I don't even know. I know how to do it for the pop-out windows, but if his is in the inspector, I'm not 100% sure on how to do that. Yeah. Unless within the inspector, you could also run a script on a button. That might be a thing. Yeah. Ooh. I mean, you could just reverse engineer his stuff, and you could just open it up and look and see how he did it. It probably, I'm just looking for expressions. Alrighty. I think I'm gonna call it there. I was gonna do this whole thing, but like, it's kind of like adding too many nodes, and I don't like the performance hit. And I want to try side by side with taking all of the bitmap stuff, or excuse me, that's not even bitmap data, but taking all the mask stuff, putting it into a merge, or like a bunch of merges, and then having it go to one. I don't know. I'm gonna ask about that. Like all of these going together and then going into a background node versus a bunch of background nodes. I feel like a bunch of background nodes is probably less. It's probably not as good in speed. And then the other thing that I want to try is the new being able to use images. So if I just took this whole thing here, and let me open up the old one. No, you wouldn't even want to do that. You wouldn't want to use that information anyways, because if you're going from 1080 to 4K or to 8K, that's going to be like significantly, it's going to be really bad quality. I don't know. I'm going to have to think about it. Ugh. That kind of sucks. I wanted to get a couple of these done because I have a couple of these that I have ready. But hacking it apart is like, it's not gonna look, or the performance is gonna be kind of bad. Yeah, and this is still only 1080. That's a bummer. Yeah, I think I'm going to come back to this. Last minute questions, and then I'm getting out of here. What is this? I don't even think I need that. Nothing? Alright, I'm gonna get out of here. So we did find at least like one little bug, or two little bugs. One, like the resolution on the masks. When we were looking at the resolution of the masks, they like weren't updating, which was kind of weird. And then the other one was like, even though we had these all connected, maybe that's just a visual bug. I really don't really care about visual bugs, but like all of the connection lines were like going to like nothing. But maybe that was the start to it having such horrible performance. That's a bummer. Oh well. I'll come back to it a little later, maybe. Maybe I'll stream it. I don't know. I'm just currently kind of frustrated with that performance hit. Once we start it, like, if we come back to here. What did I just disconnect? Come back to here, come back, and I guess it's not horrible now for some reason. Maybe because I restart it. I don't know. I don't know. All right, I'm out of here. Thanks for watching, guys. Maybe I'll be back a little later. I don't know, but I'm out for now.